YouTube. This is going to be a tutorial slash just like showing you guys what my banner is going to look like for Daisy's birthday. So I'll go ahead and show you first what my idea is. What I'm going to do is I'm going to have alternating sort of styles between this, which is yellow with a flower pattern background and mushrooms, to this, which is red with flower background and no mushrooms. And so my banner is going to have each letter. So if this was the start, it'd be H-A, and then it would go on P-P-Y, and so on. And then I'm going to string them together with ribbon or twine, I'm not 100% sure which, and hang them from my clothesline with clothespins. And so it's going to be outside, and I think that that will work out nicely. So I'm going to show you guys sort of, yeah, how I did this. I didn't have anything super perfect as far as like a template goes, so I just went ahead and drew one. I don't know if you guys can see, but I started out using a compass, and I did a measurement of 8 centimeters, and that was kind of the measurement I used for the whole circle. So once I have my circles drawn on my paper, I went ahead and I just did a little sort of, I don't know what you would call it, like a swirly line. It wasn't really meant to be like a scalloped edge per se, although I think that may have looked a little cuter. It was just a swirly line. I didn't want to get too intense with it. I knew I have like straight edge scallop stencils, but I didn't have anything that was like the right shape and size, and so yeah, I just freehanded it, and it definitely didn't turn out perfect. And then after doing so, I could only fit 2 per each page, so I went ahead and did that, and I'll show you guys the pattern paper that I chose. I've got this blue one, and they've all got similar colors because they're all from the same paper pad. And this one, that's the same, and this one, and this one. And so yeah, I just picked my paper, went ahead and did that, figured out how many sheets I was going to need. Here we go. And I started going. I chose 2 background colors to alternate. So I've got a yellow, and for this circle, for the inner circle, I just did exactly 1 centimeter less. So instead of doing 8, I went ahead and did 7, and that was the circle size that I did for these circles. And so I did some on red and some on a yellow, and I think I only needed 4 pieces total, 2 red and 2 yellow. Trying to remember if, I think so, yeah, I think it's going to work out that way. So so yeah, once I had the yellow cut out, I went ahead and made little mushrooms out of scraps from the red. So you can see this is kind of the red scrap that I was using. I would cut a small, a medium, and a large out of that size and just round their edges. And then to create the little white dots, I just didn't want to use regular paper and have to glue it on. So I found a sticker that had a lot of white space that I knew would still have stick to it. And I used a standard like hole punch, and I just punched out the circles, 3 for each mushroom, or actually 3 for the big, 3 for the medium, and 2 for the small. And then I just stuck them on, folding over at certain edges, and I would use my scissors to cut around like curved edges, just because it wouldn't lay straight otherwise. And then for the stalk of the mushrooms, I just used a peach-like color. This probably is going to look a lot darker to you guys than it is in real life, but it's just a peachy color. And I would just cut out, you can see here I've got an outline of a really small one and a really large one. And I didn't make them perfect by any means, but just kind of curving out at the cut and then back in, and then the mushroom cap would lay over top of this part, so it didn't really have to be finished or anything. And yeah, I would glue those together, and then the biggest mushroom I popped out with some little foam pop-out stickers. I got these forever ago for a different project, so I had all of these materials actually, so I didn't have to buy anything for it. And then the two smaller ones I didn't pop out. So that is essentially what I'm doing with the banner. I'm not 100% sure as far as text what I'm going to do. I asked for a Cricut for my birthday, which is a week before Daisy's birthday. And so I think I'm going to finish up all of the pieces and leave the letters off. And if I get a Cricut for my birthday, that would be awesome. And I can go ahead and use that to create my my font. And if not, I'll either freestyle it and just freehand it, sorry, and just draw just basic block letters, happy birthday, or I'll freehand it and do something viney, or find a font on the internet like I did for her birthday last year and print it out and stick it on. I will go ahead and include the link to her birthday banner from last year because I did totally different stuff and I felt like that one turned out really great and it would give you guys some other ideas. Alright, so I wanted to show you guys the finished banner. I only have happy on my desk right now because the rest is finished, but just my desk isn't big enough to lay it all out. But I wanted to explain how I did the letters this year. Last year I just kind of Googled, I think in Google Images, circus font, and I came up with a really good one. This year I knew exactly the font I wanted, and it's the Alice in Wonderland font. And so what I did was I went to dafont.com, and I will go ahead and link that below, and it is a resource website that has tons of free fonts, and all you do is download them onto your computer. And so if you're like me and you have a cutting tool, I actually just got this for my birthday, it's the Silhouette Cameo, and I chose it over the Cricut simply because it was more open source. There's no cartridges. All you do is plug it into your computer and you can cut and, you know, design anything that you have on your computer, including clip art and fonts that you can find on the internet and all sorts of stuff. So I'll do a separate review on it after I've used it for a few months. But I just recently got it and this was my first project with it. So what I did was I took the banners, you know, pretend that one of these doesn't have a letter on it, and I just measured to just kind of get an idea for how tall my letters should be and how wide they should be, and I ended up going with roughly 3.5 tall and no more than 2.5 wide. Every letter is different. You'll see the B has this curl up, so when you're measuring it on, say, a program like the Silhouettes, it measures from the highest point. The Y, you can kind of see it's looping behind this mushroom, has a really long extended tail, and so it measures from the tip of this coming down to that tail, so it's actually measuring a lot wider than it really is. So you just kind of have to play with it, but that's the rough measurements for all my letters. If you don't have a cutting tool, all you have to do is download whatever font you want to use into your computer and go into some sort of program, whether it be Google Documents or a Word program, and go ahead and just type your letters up there and color them the color you want and print them out and cut them out. So that's what I definitely would have done had I not got this for my birthday, but because I did, I went a little fancier with it, but totally not necessary. And if you're super creative, you could just paint the letters on. I do not have that creativity in me currently with everything else going on. So I went this route, but I love the way they turned out. And what I'm going to do is, instead of stringing them together, I'm just going to clothespin them with these little wooden clothespins onto our clothesline in the back. It's going to be hanging it hangs from our lemon tree to our fence, and it's the perfect distance to put the table that all the food's going to be on, including like cupcakes and stuff like that, right underneath the clothesline. So I'm going to hang this right on the clothesline, and it'll look super cute. So yeah, just wanted to share that with you guys. If you have any other questions on how I made this banner, let me know, because I'm more than happy to share. I did most of it. If I'd had this cutter when I first started the banner a few weeks ago, I probably would have done the mushrooms. I just free-handed them, but I'm really happy with the way it turned out. Each mushroom is different because it's not done with a cutting tool or anything like that. So yeah, thanks for watching.